My name is Jess Thomas, and my family and I run the Agency Ranch. It's a cattle ranch in Fort Klamath, Oregon. The ranch has been in the family since 1980. My dad has been in the cattle business for 4 decades now. That was its primary function, and still for the most part is. 15, 20 years ago, we did get more into conservation and recognized that having a balance between production, agriculture, and conservation was not only good for the ranch, but good for the family, and helped us realize, I think, the full potential of what the land here has to offer. Really bad fire season last year, drought conditions. The forests were just a tinderbox. I woke up to a bunch of texts and calls saying, hey, there's a fire in the area. I got up and just kind of slowly monitored it, and eventually I hacked anything I could that I felt was not replaceable monetarily and put it into a horse trailer. And then about 10 a.m. I was evacuated by the local sheriffs and Forest Service. The fire was at that point probably about half a mile maybe from our headquarters. I came back about 5 o'clock, and all I could see from the headquarters was smoke. I was pretty sure that everything was gone. It was only the next day that I was able to find out that fortunately, we were able to, most of the major structures here and the corrals and everything were saved. The only piece of property that we lost was the barn, and it was an old equipment barn that held a lot of our recreation equipment and stuff like that. While we were luckier than most, we still did lose something in the fire. Midland Empire has been our insurance provider, broker for, I would imagine, at least 20, 30 years. Every, I think, piece of insurance that we have on the ranch has gone through Midland Empire. When we had the fire, they were, obviously the first people we called. Moments of crisis and chaos where I think, you can really put customer service to the test. And again, not only were all three of them, Austin, Lance, and Liz, out here 2 days after the fire personally to look through everything, but they started the claims process immediately and then managed it all the way through. But it was great. I mean, they couldn't have been more on the ball. Insurance carriers can be an absolute nightmare. And, with all the other stuff that we were dealing with after the fire, not having to manage that actively was a godsend for us. To me, it was completely indicative of the type of business that they run and the type of people that they are. You realize when something like this happens, why it pays to deal with people that are trustworthy and that are, that really feel like they have your back. If we were doing this on our own and just dealing directly with carriers, we wouldn't have gotten the issue resolved as quickly as we did. And I certainly don't think that we would have been able to rebuild our barn and replace all of our valuables and everything as quickly as we were able to. And I'm sure we would have regretted not being with Midland Empire had we not. To me, insurance boils down to quality of service. With us, I know that day to day, the level of service we get is great. It's always the motto that you get what you pay for. And with them, we've always felt like we've been more than taken care of. And so I would recommend that to anybody who's considering it. And frankly, that was a year or two sooner than I thought it would be, given how difficult dealing with insurance companies can be. So thank you again to Austin, to Liz, to Lance, everyone at Midland Empire Insurance. You guys are the best.